She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
So as far as closing goes, it's the easiest and simplest way to learn how to close is to communicate and to ask a lot of questions. Get used to asking questions. And so like, for example, in the script books, with who here has the script books? Okay, the vast majority of you. In the script books, it has several different closes that are in that book. And the point is to start you on a path of asking questions. Now, if you have a sales organization, what's important is that you're very duplicatable in your process. If you don't have like a set of questions that you're asking, then that doesn't give somebody else a track to run on with the same set of questions. People have to have something very simple to follow, and if it's not simple, they won't follow. If it's not simple, they will create. Do you hear me? They will create. They will create something else. They'll do it their own way, and they will not have success. So between closing and helping people to succeed and positioning, these three things are really important, that you have a track that people can actually run on, and that's why I created the script books, was because that was a simple track that people could run on, and there's no guesswork. If you take the guesswork out, then that helps people to succeed. The less amount of time that they have to think, the more they can be doing, okay? The more that you make people think, the less they get done. The more you make them think, the less they do. So the less you make them think, they have nothing but to do. So the process has to be really super simple. And if a child can do the process, anyone can do the process. So if a child can't do your process, the process is not a good process. Okay, so it has to be very, very simple. Especially today, people's lives are crowded with too much, right? How many would say that your head is crowded with just, right? There's just too much crap going on, right? So a simple track is something that the mind automatically and very easily runs on. And that's how you want it to go. So with a simple close, I want to teach you just the simplest of all closes. That should always be your default close, or it may even be the close that you choose to lead with most of the time. And so when I was homeless and I started in that business and I started in the weight loss business, there was a close that I used majority of the time. And it was especially for customers. So if I was building a viral customer base, this one close that I actually picked up from a billionaire has really been like probably my best close as far as a weapon, always in my back pocket. It's if everything else is failing, I use this close, and most of the time I just lead with that close because it has worked way too well for too many years. And here it is. It's a really simple one. So I want you to imagine there was this guy. He's a billionaire. He had a 9th grade education, by the way, a 9th grade education. He became a billionaire, and he had a very simple close. And he ran a $2 billion company by the time I had met him. And his close was, I don't know about that. All I know is. That was his close. He built a multi-billion-dollar corporation on that close. I don't know about that. All I know is. Now there's different variations of that close, but that's the simple thing to remember. I don't know about that. All I know is. And so, it can be you can forget. Let's just start with that. So it's a really funny story because he happened to be in a symposium with a bunch of other entrepreneurs, and these were all heads of huge corporations. And each one of these heads of these huge corporations had an opportunity to speak. And so he got up to give a tip for what he felt helped his business to succeed. And he got up and he simply said, he says, "Well, I really don't know about that. All I know is my granny started on this stuff and she lost 25 pounds. And for any reason that you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back." And he kept going off on that. He just kept saying the same thing again and again and again. He goes, "We have a very simple system, and I don't really know about all the complicated things y'all are doing. All I do know is that I got so-and-so started on this, and they lost this much weight, and this is how they felt. And for any reason that you're not satisfied, you'll get your money back." It was hilarious. The next speaker that came up, who had a very successful business, came up right after him, and she says, "You know what? I got to tell you, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard." She says, "However, one of your reps happened to come to my house and I drilled that person with question after question after question, and all she said to every one of my questions was, I don't know about that. All I know is I lost 25 pounds, and for any reason you're not satisfied, we will give your money back. I asked her how much vitamin A was in the product, and she said the same thing. I don't know about that. All I know is I got started on this stuff, and I lost this much weight, and if you're not satisfied, we will give your money back. And I asked her about how much vitamin C was in it, and she says, I don't know about that. All I know is I got started on this, and I lost 25 pounds. He goes, and she said she did this continuously. I asked her again and again, how, what was in it? Where is it manufactured? Who made this stuff? Has anyone died on this? And she just kept saying, I don't know about that. All I know is my friend got started on this stuff. She's lost 10 pounds. If any reason you're not satisfied, you'll get your money back. Okay, so who's the president of this organization? She's, I don't know about that. All I know is I got started on this stuff. My friend got started, and my mother got started on this. For any reason that you're not satisfied, we'll give you your money back. And she says, and I have to tell you, it is the dumbest thing and the most annoying thing I've ever heard. She goes, but I got started on that stuff, and I have lost 20 pounds. And I am thoroughly satisfied, and I don't want my money back. So the bottom line is this, that the human mind is looking for results, and they're looking for proof that something works. And so that particular close and that way of handling objections cuts to the chase, stops the dance the long way around the mountain, and just says to the mind that is looking for results, this is the result. And we'll give you a way out. If you don't like it, you'll get your money back. It's truly that simple. Right? So it's a simple script, and it's something that everybody can do. And can a kid do it? A kid can say, I don't know about that. All I know is they can say that. For any reason that you're not satisfied, well, then we can stop. Whatever it is, right? That's how I get closed also by my, hey, if you try her once and you don't like it, no big deal. Cancel. Who cares? Right? So it's a very disarming close, and people like to be disarmed. People are under a tremendous amount of pressure today. And so whatever it is that you can do to help disarm pressure in people, do it. Whatever it is that you can do that relieves pressure and doesn't overload them with too much information and too many ingredients and too many facts and too many statistics, all of those things just crowd people's heads. They give them something that they've got to read. I recently had something happen, actually. Okay, so I can be a sucker for certain sales processes, and I recently was a sucker for a sales process. What was I looking for? I came across, it was on Facebook. Okay, so there's this guy on Facebook. He's probably around my age, and he's fit, and he's talking about his wife, right? And his wife is fit, and she had cancer, and, she helped beat the cancer. And he's just speaking so highly about his wife, and he's talking about fitness, and he's talking about getting lean, and, it's for the people who are over 45, and our bodies are different. Yeah, I'm like, BS, but he's doing good. He's targeting a specific age group. He's targeting his age group. He's talking specifically to them and the needs of those people and all of their freaking excuses, right? And so I'm going, okay, this is kind of cool. I want to check out what he's doing. So then I click add to cart, right? And then it brings me through a series of upsells, one after another. Well, the entire thing, you don't know it until it's all done, that it's all digital. Me and digital, forget about it. I thought I was getting a book or some audios or some DVDs. Give me the physical thing where I can sit down and I can watch it. And so that's, okay, now I'm getting all these emails and I have to download. I'm like, I'm out. I was totally overwhelmed. The 10 steps it takes to download the stuff, I'm done. Goodbye, I'm out. And I'm getting drilled with emails about steps to download this, now you gotta download this, now you gotta download this. Oh, and if you can't download on your phone, use your computer. I'm like, I don't travel with a computer. I open my computer maybe once every 3 months. Maybe. I don't even use that thing anymore. I don't even use my iPad, except for working out sometimes when I'm traveling only. So that complicated process, even though we had something that I wanted, the complicated process and all the multiple steps to be able to engage with it, right away I sent an email saying, give me a refund. I'm out. This is too much. I don't understand it. It's too difficult for me. Goodbye. But I got to tell you about their service. It was amazing. The woman emails me back, hi, Stella, because I never use my real name. I don't use my real name. Are you freaking crazy? I don't use my real name. You know how many freaking times I've called to order something and I give my name and they go, like Dani Johnson? Frick! Wait, like Dani Johnson, like DaniJohnson.com? Is that who I'm talking to? I'm like, yes. Oh my gosh, I've been following you for years. I've read First Step so well. I'm like, can I please get my hemorrhoid cream? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Totally joking. I threw a good one at you, or whatever it was that I bought. It wasn't hemorrhoid cream. Or whatever, right? You have to admit that was funny. Anyway, what was I saying? Whatever, something stupid. Stella. So I use Stella. I'm Stella when I called her. Yes, thanks. So anyway, so she calls me. She sends me an email. Hi, Stella. First of all, thank you so much for having an interest in blah, 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 and we're really sorry that we have frustrated you and that we're not being able to meet your needs. Are you sure that I wouldn't be able to walk you through the process, one-on-one? I would love to help to serve you in that way. And if not, if that doesn't work for you, I'd be happy to point you in a different direction. And yes, we'd be glad to give you a refund. Her service was awesome, right? So then, she's being nice to me, so I'm like, okay, frick. So then I try again. I'm like, forget it. It's just driving me crazy, right? Okay, it's not a good thing to frustrate your customer. It's not a good thing. Your engagement process cannot be frustrating. If your engagement process is overwhelming and frustrating, you will lose the person. So again, this is back to Saturday with retaining business, right? How do you retain more business? Look at your process. If it's difficult, and that's something that we're doing right now, we've been doing it all year actually, is refining our processes to make them more simple and easier to engage in. Like our cart, I can't tell you how much we've spent on carts through the years that make all these promises. $1 million later, they don't do anything besides frustrate people. We got it now. I think we're on the, Derek has been incredible to work with. So amazing to work with. So the processes that we're cleaning up because of frustration that we cause our clients, and I would encourage you to do the same thing. Like whatever is not simple, in other words, don't overwhelm them all at once with your process. So even if you just kind of drip one little step at a time, that's easier for people to engage in. And so anyway, so she's like so nice to me. Her communication was so personable and it was so wonderful. So I at least think about it and then I'm like, no, forget it. It's too frustrating. So what I'm looking for. So then I email her back and I say, you know what? I really appreciate how you communicated with me. This is very unusual to have this kind of customer service. I commend you for that. And I really, at the end of the day, no, I use my mobile phone. I am so tech-tard. It's ridiculous. And I apologize for that. If I had any idea it was all digital in the beginning, this tech-tard would have never clicked add to carted. So yes, I would just prefer a refund. So she sends me an email back. Stella, your refund has been processed. And by the way, I did some research and I found someone else who has all physical product that will fit your needs. He comes from the same stream. He learned from the same guy that so-and-so learned from. So here's a link to his book. You can get it on Amazon.com, and he has other things that are all physical products that should be able to help you. And I hope and pray that you achieve the goal that you set out to achieve. I was like, wow. 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 So look, I don't have a bad taste. First of all, because of her service and communication, I don't have a bad taste in my mouth on what I purchased from the guy who, sold me all this stuff that I really want, and I couldn't get to the information I wanted. That was the bottom line, is I couldn't get to what are your stupid 12 steps, right? You say, I'm going to tell you about these 12 steps. I'm going to tell you about this. Give me the 12 steps. Can I have? And it's a 12-minute workout. I want to know what that is. Can I have that? Can I have that? Can I get that? Can I get that? Blah, 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 blah. Stop talking to me and just tell me what the 12-minute thing is, right? Frit, stop, shut up. Where is it? Have you ever felt that way before, right? Okay, so what I want you to do is go through your processes and make sure you're not doing that to your customer. Because those that are frustrating the market are going to end up out of business. They are. Those who are frustrating the market are going to end up out of business. And here's how I know that. Because Amazon.com is conditioning the marketplace. They are. They're conditioning everybody right now for a simple service, excellent service, simple, find, get it, now, swipe, done. At my house in 2 days. So they're conditioning. That's what Amazon is doing to us. They don't complicate anything for us. And if we want a refund, it's click of a button, it's done. If we have any questions, click on a button, it's done. And if we want to talk to somebody, click of a button, it's done. And they have the best service and they have feedback loop. Their feedback after they've done any kind of service with you, they want to know, how did we do? How can we do better? So I feel like I'm being served by Amazon, and so is the marketplace. Okay, 50% of the households are on Amazon Prime. 50% of U.S. households are on Amazon Prime, which means how many more households are using Amazon without Prime? Right? So we're talking they are conditioning the entire marketplace. Okay? And most people are so far behind. They're still, Walmart is a prime example. Walmart, crying the blues about, we're not doing it. Yeah, we're not doing as good because you suck. Because your customer service sucks, because your process on your website sucks, because you're overloading and frustrating people. That's why Amazon is overloading you. That's why they're running all over the place, all on top of you. And that's why you might end up out of business. Because they're so far behind. They're like, oh, we better get a store online. No, it's not about your store being online. It's about what kind of service are you bringing that nobody else is bringing. Is it hard to find your items? Is the click-through process difficult? Is the process to access the information or access the product difficult? If any of that stuff is difficult, people are being conditioned to what's easy. And the easier your processes are, the faster you make money, the bigger your client base will be built, the more viral it will become.